Do you remember where were you at that time when you've made the decision to join the retreat?
Yeah, I was definitely overwhelmed at that time. I can't believe that was only in January. I had the pressure of just moving back to London, doing my renovation, everything was going wrong. Try running my day business, which is recruitment, but then also thinking about alignment, what I actually wanted to do going forward, and how to manage that all, how to step into my real purpose and be comfortable with that and be confident with that. Something just really felt stuck and blocked and sticky. And I didn't know how to describe it, but I knew something was blocking me from getting where I wanted or I knew I should be. I just didn't know how to describe it and I didn't know how to clear it.
So I'm curious, what was the process for you to trust this work and to trust to go on that journey in Portugal with us over 15, 16 women for this transformation?
Well, I definitely have always believed everything happens for a reason at the right time, and people come into your life for the right reason. And when we So yeah, I believe that people come into your life for the right reason at the right time. And when we met, it was obviously, as you say, the in the middle of a busy gaming conference. So I didn't expect to, we didn't really know each other, and I didn't expect to feel so kind of safe and held and seen. And something about it just felt right and just felt aligned. And when you described your story to me, coming from the corporate world and one path in your life, and then going through this awakening or your own journey, exploring your inner world and outer world in a different way, and how you made that jump and how you are comfortable in yourself and on your new path today, something with that really resonated. And that was exactly the thing that I was struggling with, how to move from this corporate, I don't know, this corporate materialistic, I guess, space, money driven space that I'd always known to a completely different world. So I'm studying to be a breathwork facilitator, I'm studying to be a couples therapist, also studying around like nervous system practice as well. So it's a whole different world for me and it feels different. And this whole kind of healing role felt aligned, but also like I could see it and I could see where I wanted to get to, but I couldn't quite grasp it. So when you told me about your experience, that personal experience really resonated with me. And also the retreat, again, it wasn't really something I knew I needed. That sisterhood experience and community wasn't something I knew I needed. But when you described the retreat to me and we spoke about there is definitely a block somewhere for me from stepping into like my current and old world into this new one. But we kind of needed to go through the process to figure out what that block was and how to remove it. The retreat seemed like the perfect space to explore that.
And let's get to the retreat. I know it's crazy. It's been just a month and a half, but it feels like 6 months ago. But anyway, so a month and a half ago, we were in Portugal. What do you remember? What stayed with you?
It was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be, but in a good way. And I like intensity, right? I'm a bit of an all nothing person. But on the first morning, we were all sitting there in the circle and there was a mirror, and we all chose to go up to the mirror and just be with ourselves in the present moment, looking into the mirror. I think we were thinking around topics of shame in particular and speaking out loud in front of all the other women. I remember, I can't remember who went first, but it was very intense. Like it was very emotional. And I think all of us saw a part of ourselves in the other. And that was a really, really powerful moment. And it made us feel very safe and very seen. I loved the women's circle at the end. That tied our whole experience in very nicely, but it was very, very profound. Some people had, yeah, some real awakening moments, let's say. And
I think one of the most profound moments for me was just the morning where we had 2 or 3 hours to ourselves in silence. I don't know what happened there for me. I spent a lot of it meditating just in nature, and I really can't put my finger on what actually happened. But I was walking back to my room afterwards, and there was just this moment where I almost like spoke to whatever was blocking me, whatever I felt had power over me, whatever was controlling me rather than I was controlling it, and fear, anxieties, whatever was holding me back, what other people's opinions of me, can I do it, limiting beliefs. And I had this moment, I almost spoke to my fear, anxieties like a third party almost. And I just remember saying in my head, like, you will not have power over me or you do not control me anymore. And something in my body, like sensory wise, shifted. It was the most bizarre thing, and I can't explain it. But yeah, that was a real profound moment for me. But it was just the collective energy of like powerful, successful women within their own rights coming together on this journey. For some of them, they've never done anything like this. Like they're not spiritual at all and just like haven't entered into this world. And some were very. So it was just this real interesting meeting of amazing, confident women who very different backgrounds, different experiences, different issues they're facing, but there was a lot of commonalities as well. And being able to just be your raw self, be vulnerable, step into your power. We did things like the Booty Awakening workshop, which was absolutely crazy. I've never done anything like that before. And I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but there was just something about the group where you just thought, fuck it, I don't care. And you just went for it. And the singing workshop as well. I really, really love the singing workshop. And I haven't sung since I used to get singing lessons as a kid, but my brother said I was tone deaf, so my mum cancelled them. And I really, really enjoyed just connecting with my voice, whatever that is, whether it's good, bad, just my voice, and just feeling free in that moment. That was really powerful. And it was like emotive as well. Definitely brought up emotions. So yeah, there was so many moments over the weekend that I went in with no expectations apart from maybe my intention was help me remove whatever this block is, but I no expectations beside that. And I left with Sisterhood. Definitely, I felt like that block had been removed in order for me to start my work afterwards and throw myself in. And yeah, it definitely felt like the reset I needed. Helped me look at things through a bit of a different lens.
Mm, amazing. I'm so grateful also for you trusting your intuition.
Yeah.
So that moment of breakthrough seems like really the culminating point of what has been at work during the retreat and probably before, as you've made the decision. It's all about preparation, intention, then
Yeah.
you make the change, and then integration. And then, since you're back in London, I'm curious, how has it been going back with, okay, this new way of feeling? What have you done? Where are you going?
So I really left on a high. And I would be lying if I said, oh my God, everything was just smooth sailing after that. I definitely went through a period of fighting with myself, you know, just going back and forth with the same limiting beliefs as before, etc. Just short term afterwards, like for a week afterwards. But then as soon as I just started to put things in action and just as you say, like trust in myself, trust in the process, trust in what I've learned, and ultimately trust in what I believe. I believe what I'm doing can really help people. So that's the path I need to follow. So then I just started putting things in action and I must have done like 20 or 30 breathwork sessions. There was definitely a part of me holding back doing breathwork with some friends in particular because I was just worried about they've known Hannah for years and who is this new person? Are they going to take me seriously? Are they going to be able to like lean into the process? What are they going to think about it in general? And then I know what I'm doing and I have belief in that. So I've sat, facilitated for a lot of my friends and friends of friends, which has been a really amazing experience. And something tells me like that's where I needed to start. I needed to go to the people. Because strangers so much, you don't have that same, they don't know you before. So they just see you, they meet you where you are right now. But friends and family, that's where I needed to start. So yeah, I have finished my breathwork training pretty much, and I've nearly finished my nervous system training. Now I'm developing a new program which helps reset the nervous system using breathwork, neuroeducation, and practical tools. Developing an app. So all of that is going on in the background, and it feels aligned, and everyone, like, I'm attracting just people to work with, and yeah, it's all coming together really, 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 really well. I'm actually working on something for the first time in my life that I really, really am excited about, and I really profoundly believe in.
Mm. And I can see today in your energy, it feels very different from when I talked to you in January.
Yeah.
I hear confidence, life,
Yeah.
a life force. So I'm so, so happy for you and happy for the people you will support in the city. Is there something I didn't ask, should have asked, you want to share?
I think it's been a really, really amazing experience, and I would recommend it to anyone. You know, there are things in life that we can understand and tangibly like comprehend and intellectualize, and there are things that we can't. And if something in your life, if you don't feel quite right, you feel a bit stuck, you feel a bit unaligned, you feel not happy, but you don't know why, you don't feel really in your purpose and your path in life, but you can't intellectualize why, go on an experience like ORIN, because it will could give you the answers you need, and will help you come back to yourself and your true purpose and true power.